So you can let your eyes close softly. And set yourself up well to settle in. Right, preparing to tune inward. Sitting nice and tall in your spine so you can remain alert. And you can scan your whole being, right, and really be honest with yourself. Like, how am I feeling? We check on an emotional level, physical level, mental level, and a spiritual level. Right, so really becoming attuned to yourself, right? Knowing how to check in and being okay with whatever you find. And scanning the body now as the anchor. Definitely inviting a soft, open, spacious forehead. You can raise the shoulders up and let them drop down. Anything you need to do to relax your body fully. And anchoring into the breath. A gentle focus on the inhales and exhales. Using a sensation, either the expanding and contracting of the belly, rise and fall of the chest, the tickle on the nose, the air in and out, or sound. And if you're still feeling maybe a little frazzled or having some resistance, right, you can take a few physiological sighs. So big, deep inhale through the nose, tiny hold, and then a pursed lips, long exhale through the mouth. A few more of those at your own pace if you wish. Now establishing our motivation. May I connect to a deeper and a greater purpose within me and my precious human life. May I cultivate the capacity for concentration within me on generosity in the world. Right, for embodied ways of thinking and acting that lead to happiness and the ending of suffering for others. Away from my own self-cherishing and self-absorption. May I orient myself to service and know that my happiness and peace within come from pouring more love and kindness into the world. And may I develop the innate ability of my mind to embody wisdom at the level of the entire horizon rather than just the wave in front of me. So I'm going to read now from Santideva. And as I read, right, let the words and the energy of the words just fill your being. Right, this reading is the object of our meditation. So with any other object, try your best to gently concentrate on these words without straining, without struggling to understand, without grasping. Right, and if you notice you've drifted away, come back without judgment as soon as you realize, as always. Right, but try your best, like when we candle gaze, right? When we build this concentration, to stay with me. Right, stay with my voice. Right, and this rich imagery that is written here, and all the sensations that may come along with those. Right, stay with those, feel those. Right, but importantly, let everything arise, exist, and then fade away. Right, let whatever happens dissolve back into the nature of the mind, so you can be present for the next moment. Okay. The spirit of awakening is upon me. I rejoice in the oceanic virtue through my teacher's expression of cultivating the spirit of awakening, which delights and benefits all sentient beings. I happily rejoice in the virtue of all sentient beings, which relieves the suffering of the miserable states of existence that I well know. May those who suffer, including me, instead dwell in happiness. I happily rejoice in sentient beings' liberation from the suffering of the cycle of samsaric existence. And I rejoice in the protectorship of the Buddha. May I be a protector for those who are without protectors, a guide for travelers, and a boat, a bridge, and a ship for those who wish to cross over the ocean of suffering to the shores of peace. May I be a lamp for those who seek light, a bed for those who seek rest, and may I be a servant for all beings who desire a servant. To all sentient beings, may I be a wish-fulfilling gem, a vase of good fortune, an efficacious mantra, a great medication, a wish-granting cow. So I myself shall generate the spirit of awakening for the sake of the world who have cried enough tears. And so I myself shall properly engage in the practices of the Bodhisattvas. Now my life is fruitful. My human existence, so difficult to attain, this privilege, and so easy to lose. Today I've been born into the family of the Buddhas as a child of the Buddha. And just as a blind man might find a jewel amongst heaps of rubbish, so this spirit of awakening has somehow arisen in me. It is the elixir of life to vanquish suffering in this world. It is an inexhaustible treasure eliminating the poverty of the world. It is the supreme medicine that alleviates the illness of the world. It is the tree of rest for beings exhausted from wandering on the paths of mundane existence. It is the universal bridge for all travelers on their crossing over miserable states of existence. It is the rising moon of the mind that soothes the mental afflictions, anger, attachment, and ignorance of the world. It is the great sun dispelling the darkness of the world's ignorance. It is the fresh butter formed from churning the milk of Dharma, or truth. For the caravan of beings traveling on the path of mundane existence and starving for the meal of happiness, it is the feast of happiness that satisfies all sentient beings who have come as guests. But while I have promised to liberate beings throughout space from their mental afflictions, I have not yet liberated even myself from them. Without the humble knowing of my own limitations, I spoke as if I were a bit insane. Therefore, I shall never turn back from my attempt to vanquish my own mental afflictions. Anger, attachment, and ignorance that I experience. I shall be tenacious in this matter. Mental afflictions do not exist in sense objects nor in the physical realm. Then where do they exist and agitate the whole world? This is the illusion. Liberate your fearing, doubtful heart and lazy mind, and instead cultivate perseverance for the sake of the wisdom within you. After pondering in this way, I shall make an effort to apply the teachings as they have been explained before me. How can someone who could be cured by medicine be restored to health if he strays from the physician's advice? And so now, just think. Just think about all of that. Right? Apply it to your life. Let the mind do its thing. Right? Observe the flow, the waterfall, the stream, the river, without any judgment. Like Buddha said, when there are sights, just see. When there are sounds, just hear. And just remember that you are the witness. If you catch yourself downstream, that's okay. Come back and sit on the riverbank and watch again. And now please bring your hands together at heart center and a slight bow of the head for dedication. And I invite you to make a commitment of some sort tonight. Right? You can draw any inspiration from the reading. Right? Make a promise to do something, to do what you can to cultivate your ability to help lead yourself, right, and all sentient beings across the ocean of suffering to the shores of happiness and inner peace. So let that come to mind now. And now you can let go of the practice of the mudra and slowly open your eyes.